So we've got this brand new addition to the sheet. So what it does, it gives us a time-stamped analysis of where the sentiment was prior to where it is now. I've had lots of people saying, can we look at historical bubbles? Can we see where the bubble was back in time? Now we can. So the important thing to note is that live shifting, this is where we are right now. So this is like, the snapshot in time. Now this is where we were 4 hours ago, as you can see, and 1 hour ago, and 30 minutes ago. So how can we use this data? Well, we can see the live shifting from 10 p.m. from the daily close. So we can see that the herd has sold Aussie and they've gone long the Swiss franc. So you could look at that for a trade ID. You could look for long on Aussie Swiss. However, it's worth noting over the last 4 hours is that they're starting to reverse that idea. So they're short, but then the last 4 hours they're sort of changing their mind. So what you want to do is try and get the columns to agree. Okay, so we have a disharmony here on Aussie. At the live view, they're short, but they've kind of just like started to reverse their thinking. And a lot of the times it's from stops. So if we see a big move like this on the Aussie in a single day, it's probably some stops were taken and we're seeing a slight reversal. They're short of the yen. However, at the live view, that they've gone long yen. Okay, so today is very much mismatch. Apart from the Swiss franc, so at the big picture level where we are now, the long Swiss franc, they're holding long over the last 4 hours. Over the last hour, they're still holding, and over the last 30 minutes. So that's a bearish case for the Swiss franc. Now we can see in the bubbles is that they were long at the start of the week and have added long on Swiss franc. So we know, looking at the live 4 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 30 minutes, we should see some Swiss weakness, because normally what should happen is that they go one way. If they hold, they should get punished. Okay, so that's how you can use it. And obviously with Aussie, we have a discrepancy. They'd sold it, but now they've sort of reversed their thinking. And it's likely we're going to see quite a lot of flip-flop, uncertainty and jitters, because we've got an absolutely massive week ahead of us. We've got the FOMC, we've got the CPI, we've got the Powell press conference as well, and then we've got the PPI, and then we've got the Bank of Japan on Friday. So it's an absolutely huge week. So we are going to see a lot of flip-flop. But if you want to know how to use the data, you're just simply looking at something that's present across time frames, like, for example, the Swiss franc. And the yen is a discrepancy where they've gone long since the start of the week. However, they've really gone and changed their mind over the last 4 hours, 1 hour ago, 30 minutes. So it wouldn't be a good one to trade yen until that actually went negative. So if they're selling yen, it should make it a buy. Okay, so that's how you can use it. And now it's just reset because we just got some data. We just had a new import of data, and then that's going to change at the next API import, which is really cool. So we'll then be able to see and get confirmation on that Swiss franc idea. And so that's how you can use it. And hopefully it's quite useful. So you might not need the daily bubbles, average bubbles, weekly bubbles, because we've got that data there, but we don't have the average bubble. So we could theoretically hide these because they're taking up a bit of space, because we've got it on here now. Average bubbles is simply the average of the daily and weekly. So the weekly is like for swing trades, the daily is for scalps. Average is combining the two time frames, two systems, the long term trading or the intraday in and out style. So the average bubbles are very powerful, but I think we might be able to hide the daily bubbles and the weekly bubbles because we've got a lot of tabs now. It's a bit crazy. So we could theoretically just hide daily and weekly and just come to the time-stamped basket sentiment. Should be okay. And then that's basically it. So that's how you can use it. It's a use case scenario. And like I said, this week it's going to be absolutely massive. And we're going to see a lot of uncertainty because of the European parliamentary elections. We are possibly changing a consensus view about the way how governments are run. And if there's a small chance of a right-wing party coming into power, they might have certain views about the euro and whether or not they want to remain in the euro. France being a case in question with Le Pen. It's definitely something to bear in mind, and we're going to see a lot of uncertainty as we go into those elections, and it's going to culminate in November with the US elections, and that's going to be, I think, like a risk-off scenario, and then we could be looking to buy the dip. So we're going to see a lot of uncertainty, a lot of flip-flop, but this should help with your trade ideas because you're just looking at a continuation, knowing that with about 80% probability that the herd are going to get punished, especially if they hold, and then they'll get punished for their bias, and of course stops will get taken, and then that's what will happen. So big moves already in a single day, so be careful. That's a humongous move. I got queried about whether or not that data is correct. It is correct. It's that they've gone very YOLO on Aussie and they've gone very YOLO on Swiss franc. Okay, so that's it. So I'll wrap up now. Hopefully it's useful, and I think it's a really good addition, and hopefully it should help you formulate some trade ideas as well.